If you have diabetes, you've probably been told to avoid bananas because they're too sugary. But here's the truth: that advice is outdated, and in some cases, it might actually be doing more harm than good. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether bananas belong in your daily routine. And there's one simple trick near the end that changes how your body processes the sugar in them. Welcome, everyone. We are VitalBite, and on this channel, we break down confusing nutrition advice into simple, practical facts you can actually use. No fear-mongering, no fad diets, just the real science. If that's useful to you, hit subscribe, because this channel is growing fast. Here's the confusion. Bananas do contain natural sugar, and yes, they can raise your blood sugar, but contained sugar and bad for diabetes are not the same thing. Almost every fruit contains sugar. What actually matters is how fast that sugar hits your bloodstream and how much of it you're eating at once. So instead of just saying yes or no, let's actually break down what's happening inside your body, because the real answer is more useful than a simple yes or no. Quick note before we dive in. This video is general education, not personal medical advice. Diabetes affects everyone differently, so always check with your doctors or dietitian about what's right for you specifically. Part 1, let's talk about the glycemic index, because this is where most of the confusion starts. The glycemic index measures how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. Bananas actually sit in the low to medium range, lower than white bread, white rice, and most breakfast cereals. That alone surprises a lot of people who assumed bananas were somehow worse than those foods. But here's the part almost nobody mentions. The glycemic index only tells you about speed. It doesn't tell you about quantity. That's where a second number comes in, called glycemic load. And it's actually far more useful for real life. Glycemic load looks at both the speed and the amount of carbohydrate in a realistic portion. And when you look at bananas through that lens, one medium, banana has a relatively moderate impact, nowhere near as extreme as most people assume. But there's one factor that changes this entire equation, and it has nothing to do with the size of the banana. Part 2, ripeness. This is the detail almost nobody talks about, and it matters more than most people realize. As a banana ripens, its starch slowly converts into simple sugar. That means a green, slightly underripe banana has more resistant starch and less immediate sugar impact, while a very ripe, spotty banana has more fast-digesting sugar. This doesn't mean ripe bananas are bad. It just means a slightly greener banana will generally cause a gentler, slower rise in blood sugar compared to an overripe one. So for someone managing diabetes, choosing a banana that's ripe but not overly soft and spotty can make a real difference. Now here's the part that really surprises people, because how you eat the banana matters just as much as which banana you pick. Part 3, pairing. This is the trick I mentioned at the start, and it's genuinely one of the simplest tools for managing blood sugar. With any fruit, not just bananas, when you eat a banana on its own, on an empty stomach, your body absorbs that sugar fairly quickly. But when you pair it with protein, fat, or fiber, like a spoonful of peanut butter, a handful of nuts, or plain yogurt, digestion slows down significantly. That slower digestion means a gentler, more gradual rise in blood sugar instead of a sharp spike. This single habit, never eating fruit completely alone, is one of the most practical, doable changes for anyone managing blood sugar. And it works with bananas just as well as any other fruit. And that leads to the question everyone actually wants answered. Can you really eat a banana every single day? Here's the honest answer. For most people with well-managed diabetes, one medium banana a day, especially when paired with some protein or fat, and not eaten in place of medication timing or monitoring, is generally considered reasonable. As part of a balanced diet, bananas also bring real benefits that often get overlooked. In this conversation, they're rich in potassium, which supports healthy blood pressure, something especially relevant since high blood pressure and diabetes often go hand in hand. They also contain fiber, which itself helps slow sugar absorption. The real key isn't avoiding bananas altogether, it's portion size, ripeness, and what you pair them with. Someone eating 3 overripe bananas and one sitting on an empty stomach is a very different situation than someone eating half a slightly green banana with a spoonful of almond butter. As always, your personal blood sugar response can vary, which is why checking your own levels after eating, especially when trying a new food or portion, is the most reliable way to know how your body specifically reacts. So let's quickly recap the truth about bananas and diabetes. Number 1. Bananas actually have a lower glycemic index than many people assume. Number 2, ripeness matters. A slightly greener banana causes a gentler blood sugar rise than an overripe one. Number 3, pairing your banana with protein or fat slows sugar absorption significantly. Number 4, for most people with well-managed diabetes, a reasonable daily portion can absolutely fit into a balanced diet. The bottom line, bananas aren't the enemy. Portion size, ripeness, and pairing are what actually matter. If this cleared up some confusion for you, hit subscribe because next week, I'm covering 5 fruits that are actually worse for blood sugar than people realize, and a couple of them might surprise you. Let me know in the comments, do you already eat bananas regularly? Or have you been avoiding them? I read every comment, and if you have a specific question, a doctor or dietitian is always the best person to give you personalized guidance. See you in the next video.